All right, welcome back. Consumer Quarterback Show, powered by the Platinum MVP team, Keller Williams Realty. We got Mark Haye in the house, our financial advising expert contributor, talking about the markets, talking about investing, retirement, and things that you can do to be a more informed consumer. Quick shout out to our friends at Replenish IV Solutions. I just left their Gandy location. Replenish IV Solutions, longtime friends of the program, probably 8 or 9 years now we've been working together. But replenishivsolutions.com, vitamin infusion drip directly into your bloodstream. Say hello to Steve and Elisa Gunn and let them know you heard about them right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. replenishivsolutions.com. Check them out online. All right, Mark Haye in the house. Welcome back, sir.
It's good to see you. Good to see you.
Yep.
Thank you again. You hold a great Christmas party.
Awesome,
for your realtors group, and I appreciate you inviting me. And
absolutely, man.
Good people.
Yeah, it's good
real
times.
good people you guys have on that team. So
some good networking.
Be proud of yourself.
Yeah, thanks,
good
buddy.
stuff.
Appreciate that, man.
Yeah,
Thank
absolutely.
you very much. Yep.
Very good. It's too bad Santa didn't show up though.
I know. I showed you all the texts. I'm like, Santa stood me up. I got stood up by Santa, but come to find out, he ended up having COVID.
Yeah,
so.
We'll forgive him.
Yeah, he said, I've never forgotten one in 30 years of doing this, and
well, it's still a good time.
Yeah. Hundreds of years. That's right. Hundreds of years. Yeah, that's right. All right, Mark, what do we need to know? We're coming into the end of the year. This is the time of the year to really start thinking about next year, planning, and then retirement is a whole nother thing. And a lot of times we want to talk about getting that review as well.
Yep. Now, remember last time we were talking about the 4 I's.
Yes.
And we went through the IRS, and we're not going to tip the IRS anymore, and that turning all your expenses into deductions, and how do we do that? Some kind of a LLC, some kind of a business, and we gave an example in that. We talked about insurance, and we talked about whether you have emergency fund and, adjusting your health insurance, car insurance, and maybe self-funding, but having the insurance as well and lowering that premium so have the cash flow. Yep. And then we talked about interest and fees, unwanted fees and the difference between a 401k, traditional IRA, and we talked about self-directed IRAs. And then lastly, we're going to hit on just investments, which is going to be today. And my big thing is when we talk about investments is, I don't like locking money up for 30, 40 years.
Right.
I just think that if you're looking to put money away, I don't think that the plan of a 401k and IRA and sitting for 30 years and speculating and hoping that works out in the end, which we already know it doesn't, is an investment. I just don't think that's a proper thing to do. Now, can you have it? Yeah, you can have it. I have ideas, and where I have an IRA where basically I'm going to give that IRA to a church, a charity at some point down the road, and they'll get it tax-free, whereas if I took it, it would be taxable. I would use it to hit my standard deduction in retirement, which 2024, the standard deduction goes up again, so now it's $29,200 for a married couple, which means if I pulled out $29,200 in retirement from that IRA, that's going to be tax-free. Other than that, I would give the rest away, because I don't want to be subject to taxation that they declare 20, 30 years from now. I don't want to be relying on the Wall Street mutual funds and stocks and hoping that it stays up. Okay. Too many people worry about it in retirement. Right now with the election year coming up and the market being as high as it's been, people are just worried next year is going to be a bad year and they're retired on a fixed income. And I just think that if you develop passive income today and develop the lifestyle you want today, and retire the notion of retirement. Mm-hmm. I mean, what are you going to do in retirement? You're just going to sit around, or are you going to try to do something that brings value that you enjoy? Mm-hmm. That maybe, I don't know, we can make a little bit of money on it, but we want to take the expenses into deductions.
Yeah.
So when we talk about investments, we talk about tons of different ways to do that, but not just sitting in a 401k plan. Yeah. So we like to talk about things being liquid. And I talked about having an emergency fund in the bank, and that could be different for anybody. Some people just want 1 month. Some people want a year. The experts say 4 to 6 months. But it's really whatever makes you comfortable. Like, what makes you sleep at night? Is having $50,000 in the bank makes you sleep, or is having $5,000 in the bank makes you sleep? Some business owners want very little in the bank because it's not protected from creditors, doesn't make anything, so they just want to have it just to pay the bills for a month or two, and that's it. And where else are you going to put the money?
Right.
My big thing, and I call wealth creation accounts, is stuff cash in overfunded life insurance policies.
Right.
The reason I say that is protected from creditors, get the same tax-deferred growth as any other retirement plan. It's liquid, free of taxation. In the event that you're not here, your wife and kids will be taken care of. But then you take that money and you leverage it into things that you want, whether it's an investment property or a business or something you want to do. And we do a lot of things where we'll take the money out of the life insurance policies and create a mortgage for a family owner or, a brother or a sister or a cousin. and instead of giving the bank 9%, you're going to earn 9% on your money.
Right.
And when you take it out of that contract, you weren't interested the money was in it. So you're making money, the money was in it, taking that money into an investment that's making 9-10% now, and you're helping that person out. We're eliminating the bank, and so you're the biggest asset as an investor, as a commodity, not a mutual fund or a piece of real estate. So invest in yourself.
Yeah.
Keep it liquid. And do the things you like to do. If you don't like mutual funds, then don't do mutual funds. If it's something you don't like.
I like the idea too of one of your other eyes that you had talked about was, essentially, and today we're in the world that we live in today, 2023, going into 24. Wow, can you believe it? Right? Is that what do you do if people want to complain? Right? People, if they want to complain about where they're at, is okay. Well, what do you do from 7 to 11 every night? After you get all the work stuff, you get home, you can do a side hustle. You can have something. You can work till midnight. You can do extra things. And then if you set it up properly, like an LLC, as you mentioned on previous episodes, now you've got all the benefits, the tax benefits that come off. But you can go online. You can research. You can sell things online. I mean, there's so much opportunity that our grandparents didn't have.
Absolutely. I mean, in today's day's age, there's no reason why someone can't be some kind of a business owner.
Right.
I just saw an article, and I'm sure you probably did too, where some guy was buying toilet paper and turning around and selling it on Amazon. It was making like $10,000 a month or something crazy.
Holy
but he's buying all this toilet paper from Sam's Club, whatever, turn around and selling it on Amazon for a profit.
Wow.
He doesn't have to do anything other than post that and then puts it in the Amazon warehouse, and they're the ones that are shipping it.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's not like he has to be there labeling the boxes and shipping it. And, he just pays Amazon whatever cut they're going to get from each sale.
Wow.
And they do it just like you sold your book. My book's on Amazon. I don't pay Amazon. I don't do the packaging and selling of the book.
Right.
Amazon takes a cut. So
Drop shipped or whatever.
You got it. So you post it on Amazon. People buy it off Amazon. I get my cut. Amazon gets their cut. I mean, it is what it is.
Yep.
But I'm not out there, holding all these books in the warehouse,
Right.
shipping them off.
Right.
So like you said, there's a lot of opportunities to make money, and I'm not really concerned about how much money that business brings in. I'm concerned about taking expenses and deductions,
Right.
and getting that cash flow. Instead of giving the IRS, giving it to yourself. You
Right.
make $100,000 a year, you're giving the IRS $2,500 a month. That's 30%. So if you can eliminate that to $250 a month or $1,000 a month, whatever that is, you just freed up $1,500 or $2,000 a month of cash flow.
Yeah.
And then, like we talked about, you say, okay, but I have my emergency fund of $50,000 in the bank. Well, instead of paying this humongous health insurance bill for your family of four at $1,500 a month with a zero deductible, why don't we take the deductible up to $20,000 because you have the emergency fund? Bring that premium way down to $700. Now all of a sudden we just gave another $1,000 a month. But you get my point. You can develop a lot of cash flow without really even getting into an investment. But
Right.
my point is, with an investment, keep it liquid.
Yeah.
So then when opportunities come and we all get them, you don't have to pay a penalty to the government and pay the taxes and everything that needs to do when you can go and actually have the opportunity to do it, because cash is king. If you're sitting on cash,
Absolutely.
you're going to have opportunities to do a lot of big things.
Yep. Especially with the market we're seeing right now and what could potentially happen. I mean, there's potential for World 3 here.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy.
It's unbelievable.
And
happening.
then all the autos, people are losing their cars or behind payments more than ever right now.
There you go.
And so there's opportunities going to come where if you want to buy, sell a car, you can get them cheap and turn around and sell them if you want to do that. I think boats, muscle cars, old muscle cars right now, you're going to probably see those go for sale because people are just not making the money what they were, or the bills are too high. And here in Florida, we got taxes that went up, and we have home insurance that are doubling and tripling. So people are making changes.
Yep.
But if you got cash, you can come in and buy all this stuff up. And the point is, cash is king, and keep it liquid.
Yeah. Credit card debt all-time high. Savings all-time low in America.
Cost of living is just too much right now, and the income's not going up.
Right.
Well, how do you do that? Let's form some kind of a business and eliminate the IRS legally and ethically, obviously.
Yep. How did people connect with you, Mark?
727-804-7220. Text or call, and I'd be happy to return the text call within 24 hours.
Yeah, and get a review also. He'll do a free review for you as well. If you have a current investment plan or a strategy or portfolio, have Mark review it. I would highly recommend it. He gets some great feedback on that. We've heard great feedback as well. Why don't you text the word review to 727-263-3707. Just pull out your smartphone, text us over at 727-263-3707. 833-3707. And just text the word review. We'll have Mark Haye review all your financials, give you some tips and some really good ideas and advice on how to get these 4 I's and work for you: IRS, insurance, interest and fees, and investments. That was the recap of the 4 I's. What's the website, Mark?
xxifinancial.com. And again, 727-804-7220.
All right. Good stuff. Hey, another great show. We had former St. Pete Mayor Rick Baker on the show, attorney Millie Athanison, and Mark Haye, our financial advising expert. Please go out there, consider committing a random act of kindness, do something kind for one another, and be a force for good in the community. We'll see you next time right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
You've been listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. Whether it's real estate, consumer, or financial advice, let Brandon call your next